Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm a little bit nervous because this is a very different kind of video for my channel. I mostly focus on makeup and beauty here, as well as a little bit of fashion, but I have started incorporating a little bit of my weight loss journey. I have changed a lot of things. I've talked a lot about this in a lot of more of my chatty videos, but this one's very, very different. I feel like it might come off sponsored, but this is absolutely not sponsored. I wasn't even going to make a video about this, but I kind of thought it might be interesting to make a video about this to kind of track my progress and see if anything happens or if this system works. Now this is only a five-day system that I purchased, so I don't know what difference it's going to make, but on the box it does claim that you can lose up to 10 pounds in 3 weeks. So following the system, now this is only a 5-day plan, not even a full week plan. So if we kind of divvy that up into, you know, per week, that would be like a little over 3 pounds per week, right? So let's just say that by the end of this week, I should lose at least 3 pounds doing this system. And so obviously that's kind of just like a roundabout with my sloppy, bad math kind of thinking, but anyway, I don't know really what's gonna happen, but I figured I would try it and share the journey because I thought that might be interesting. All right, let me kind of backtrack a little bit because I feel like I got a little bit ahead of myself and I started rabbit trailing just a little bit. Now, if you are new here, hi, my name is Maria. I like glitter and I talk a lot. So sometimes I kind of just ramble and trail off. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry, you might not like my channel, but we're gonna rein it back in and let me just kind of start this over. So while I was in Walmart, my husband and I were looking at like the protein shake aisle and like health food section of Walmart. While we were there, I did notice that there were these 5-day kits from Nutrisystem. Now I'm sure everybody's heard of Nutrisystem. It is a weight loss system. There's like infomercials for it or commercials for it on TV, and you would call it up and order the system. I didn't realize they actually sold systems in Walmart, so I thought that was interesting. So I saw, and there was 2 different options. This is the one I picked up. Both of them are 5-day kits, but each of them it says what meals are in here. So I just picked the one that seemed like the meals that I would enjoy the most. Now for this 5 days, this is 5 days worth of food according to Nutrisystem, and it was $45. So in here there are 5 breakfast varieties, 5 lunch varieties, 5 dinner varieties, and 5 snack varieties. And this is what I'm going to be eating for the next 5 days. And I will check in next week and let you guys know how it went, what I thought, and just share if there was any good progress or how I felt using the system. I just thought it would be really interesting because I'm sure other people might have seen the system, wonder if it's worth it, wonder if it works, wondered anybody's thoughts. And I don't know if anybody does these type of videos. There probably are people who do these type of videos. I don't know, but I haven't seen them because it's not really my thing to watch, but I don't know. So here I am doing it for anybody curious who watches me. Now, I do kind of want to go over some of the stuff that's in the box, as well as there was like a little pamphlet thing in the box that has a lot more information that I want to share some of that with you guys so you guys have an idea of more about this system, and I'm going to be kind of learning it too. But before I do get into that, I wanted to share a little bit of information about me, because so far on my channel, even though I've talked about my weight loss journey and things like that, and I've shared my weight loss updates and stuff, when I've lost weight, when I've gained weight and things like that, it's kind of been an up and down thing. But even though I've shared that progress, I have not actually told you guys my weight here on my channel yet. And I haven't told you that because and I'm ashamed to even admit this, but I have been embarrassed to share my weight with you guys. Like which I shouldn't be embarrassed. I don't know why I'm embarrassed. It seems silly to be embarrassed to share a number on a scale, but I just don't know. There's just something about like saying what weight I was at. I just wasn't ready to share that until I wanted to be like, oh, I want to lose some weight and then I'll let you guys know how much I weigh, which is so stupid. So today I'm actually going to share with you what my current weight is, and I'll put a picture on the screen that way you guys can see. Snapped it this morning, checked my weight, and the date is, just so we all know, September 3rd. Hopefully you guys will be able to see that it's September 3rd. And I snapped this photo this morning and I am currently 183 pounds. And that's definitely far from where I want to be and need to be because I am only 5'4". So I'm pretty short, and so at that weight I'm pretty overweight. And so anyways, I'm just curious to see that with doing the system, and just so you guys know, I am also working out. I do go to the gym with my husband. We've decided to go 4 to 5 days a week. I think we're going to probably take Wednesdays off, which before we were doing 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, but my daughter does have games Wednesday nights, and so most likely, and that's when we've been going in the evenings, so most likely we will skip Wednesdays to go to my daughter's game. So we will pretty much be working out 4 days a week at the gym. We usually work out for about an hour weightlifting, and then I usually do 20 minutes of cardio at the gym as well. And then pretty much all those same days, I also do a cardio workout in the morning. So I usually wake up around 5:30 every morning and do the elliptical from anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And so that's just so you guys know, that's what I'm also doing in addition to the Nutrisystem thing. So some of the weight loss could be the working out stuff, and I'm not going to stop working out just to test this, but I want to see if there's going to be a difference also in helping with the Nutrisystem, because this is kind of a pretty, I would say, limiting system. The portions are very small, and I did briefly read the packet before coming on camera. It does say that when you do your first week on Nutrisystem to take it easy with working out, because you could be more easily fatigued if you're not used to, well, it doesn't quite say this, but this is what I'm assuming, if you're not used to eating such small portions. But since I have made such a big change to what I've been eating and my portions, I feel like I'm pretty used to smaller portions now, since I have been doing that for quite a while now. So I think I should be fine. And then of course, if I feel like I'm not doing well, or if it's just too much for me, I will for sure take it easy and things like that. And I will have my husband working out with me to, you know, make sure I'm doing okay and stuff like that. So just want to let you guys know all these little facts ahead of time of what I'm already doing, in addition to I'm going to start this for 5 days. So I think that's everything you guys need to know about like me and what I'm already doing. I want to kind of check out this Nutrisystem stuff and share with you what it is as well. So in this kit, you do get this Nutrisystem 5-day weight loss kit pamphlet. It says your recipe for success, daily guide, grocery guides, meal trackers, expert tips. Now in here, it does also have other suggestions, things that you can purchase from the drugstore. I'm still in beauty mode. Things that you can purchase from the grocery store, like fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that you can also incorporate to eat along with this system. And so also something I didn't really pay attention to, because I read it in here and I didn't realize it was actually also on the box, because I was going to be like, how would anybody know it's not even on the box? But it actually is on the box. I just wasn't paying attention to that side. But it does say that the first week, for you to really be the most successful, it says that you should do this system, but also purchase separately their Nutrisystem Turbo Shakes. And that's going to be your morning snack. So basically have this routine of a breakfast, which is a Nutrisystem breakfast, the morning snack, which should be the Nutrisystem Turbo Shakes, which I don't have, and so I'm not going to do this. So I might mess up their system of how they do this, but it is what it is. Not everybody's going to purchase the additional shakes, so I'm going to be one of those people, and I'm going to tell you how it goes with that. Okay, then there'll be a Nutrisystem lunch, an afternoon snack, which they have a Nutrisystem snack, and then a Nutrisystem dinner alongside 2 servings of your own vegetables. Oh, and it also says 2 servings of your own vegetables with lunch as well. And so it does have like tips in here for success and just different information. And so then we also have this. It basically is like your week 1 meal plan tracker. And so this does say, and you can check it off. If you're someone who needs to check something off, I don't think I will check something off, but I do think that's kind of cool that they do that for people who need to like check things off and see it. But then what I thought was interesting also is they have all this other information, which I thought was really cool. So these are the grocery add-in options for vegetables. They let you know which are going to be the best vegetables you should purchase to be eating with this system. So it says these are non-starchy vegetables that provide fiber, vitamins, and minerals your body needs. They also help fill you up. So each day you'll enjoy at least 4 servings of non-starchy vegetables. and it gives examples of them. So there's asparagus, beets, bell peppers, broccoli, carrots, cauliflower, cucumber, green beans, lettuce, mixed greens, mushrooms, tomatoes, spinach, zucchini, and things like that. So it gives you examples, and then it talks about healthy hydration, other choices aside from water, which would be black coffee, green tea, things like that. And then I do believe they have, okay, they also have add-ins for power fuels. So I think this goes in with like, oh, the week after, like after you do the first week with their turbo shake, they have other add-in things, like your morning snack will be a power fuel, and then you'll have a Nutrisystem snack in the afternoon, and then an evening snack, which will be a power fuel, as well as a smart carb. And then they're still recommending 4 servings of vegetables. I don't know if I'm going to go into all of this. I just thought I would share some of the information, but it does have the power fuels. So these are lean proteins that contain essential amino acids and healthy fats. So examples are almonds, cheese, chicken breast, and it says like 2 tablespoons. Like it says that the amount you should be able, or you should allow yourself to have for it to count as a serving. And then smart carbs, and this says smart carbs are lower glycemic carbohydrates that digest slowly, keeping you fuller longer. And what's interesting too, I'm noticing, it says women add 1, men add 3 each day. So they do have different things in here where it's for women and then like a plan for men. So it's a little bit different for men and women. And so just an example of smart carbs: an apple or an orange, banana, berries or grapes, and then there's a few other ones, which I won't list all of them, and things like that. So it does have a little bit of a guide to kind of help you in what else you can eat. While this does seem like a very, very limiting package right here of food, like look how small this is, they are still suggesting that you are going to need to buy some extra things from the grocery store. And I actually really, really like that, because I want to keep eating fresh, like fruits and vegetables and things like that. I think I would probably hate just eating this like pre-packaged and pre-mealed stuff. I mean, obviously I wanted to try it out and I'm really interested in it, but I don't think it would be the greatest idea to not have fresh food and stuff like that for you. But I don't think there's anything else I have to share about starting this my first day. I'm kind of excited. I will say that I did have one of the breakfast items, and I'll just briefly show some of the food items that I'm going to be getting or eating this week. But the first breakfast item was just like a simple bar, and this looks small, but it was a decent size and it was pretty dense. It did a good job at filling me up, and it was really dense and pretty satisfying, and I didn't feel like once I was done with it, like that's it, I want more or anything like that, which typically in my like experience, because I love food, that is my thinking all the time, is I want more. But I felt pretty good after eating this. This was the cinnamon raisin baked bar. It has 150 calories, 5 grams of fat, 5 grams of fiber, 7 grams of protein. And what's interesting is, like, I ate this one the first day. I chose to eat this one today because I do not like raisins. I don't like really anything with raisins in it. And I was like, oh, that's the one thing that I think I won't like. I'm gonna get it out of the way first thing just so I could have good stuff for the rest of the week. But actually it was really good. And it didn't have chunks of raisins, so they must have cut the raisins up smaller or something like that, because I actually didn't notice chunks of raisins. I really don't like the texture of raisins. They're just really weird to me. And so I didn't have any bite where I bit it and it was like a raisin and it was gross to me. It actually had a pretty good flavor, and the texture of the bar in general was, like I said, pretty dense and thick, but chewy and soft at the same time, if that makes sense. So it was just very satisfying and it was pretty good. So I was pretty happy with this as my breakfast this morning. But I did want to share a few of the other items in here, just so you guys have an idea if you were to do something like this, or were just curious what it looked like, of the different options. So another breakfast option is an apple strudel bar. There is granola cereal. So these are like the sizes, just for reference. There is a cinnamon strudel muffin, which this one seems actually pretty small. Like, that's the muffin, it's a small thing. There is a maple brown sugar oatmeal. Okay, I'm pulling out just randomly because it's in here. So this is a dinner. This is meatballs and marinara sauce, and so this is what, that'll be a dinner size. It just seems really small. Okay, and then, okay, here's another dinner thing, and this one seems actually kind of bigger. So this is a chicken pot pie, which, oh, I love pot pie. Oh, so I'm excited about that, actually. That's the food lover in me. Okay, this is interesting. So this is considered a lunch for one of the lunch options. This is a double chocolate caramel bar, but it has 180 calories. So that's a lunch option, which is really interesting. It seems like it should be a snack, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. And that's how big it is. So this seems a little bit smaller than even the breakfast bar. So this is a 3-cheese chicken, and this is a lunch option as well. So I think you kind of just have to look and see what there is and kind of balance out. Like say if I were to have one of the bigger breakfasts options, like the cereal or maybe the oatmeal, then I maybe would do this as a lunch, or you know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's just about balance. And then maybe on the day that I did a lighter breakfast, then I would do this one since it seems like a heavier lunch. I don't know. It is cool that there are some sweet stuff in here to kind of balance any cravings, you know what I mean? A snack option, this is chocolate chip cookies. Another dinner option, hearty beef stew. There is another, this is a lunch option. This is white bean chicken chili. So there's a good variety. It's not just all bars and things like that. Here's another snack option, thin mint crisp bar. Another snack option is sweet and salty snack mix. So there's a variety of different things. Here's some more dinner things. There is a chicken Alfredo. And, ooh, this looks good. Ravioli with meat sauce. So there's just a wide variety of different things. Oh, this looks good. White cheddar and mac and cheese is another lunch option. So there's a few more items in here, but I'm not going to pull it all out. But just so you guys can kind of see what is in there and the different sizes and varieties and types of foods. So there's a mix, a good mix, it seems like, of sweet items for anybody who has a sweet tooth, and savory items and like salty items. But anyways, I think that's everything I had to share with you for this first day check-in announcement thing about this system. I hope that it does well for me, and that we can all just learn something from me trying it out. I don't know. I was just really curious and thought it might make for an interesting video. So I hope you guys enjoy hearing my 5-day journey. So with that, that's it. So I'll check back in at the end of the 5 days. All right, I am back. It is Monday the 9th. Technically, my 5 days of the Nutrisystem ended on Saturday the 7th, but because I don't film on weekends, here I am today on Monday to give you guys the update after trying the Nutrisystem 5-day little box. I do have a weight loss update for you guys. I want to kind of go through some of my thoughts, and I did write down a few things. I didn't think I would end up using this little check-off thing that I mentioned when I first did this video, but it actually ended up being a little bit helpful for me to just track a few things and notes for me to be able to share with you. There were a few things on a couple of days where I added in some extra stuff, so I figured I'd take note of that and share that with you, as well as just share my thoughts on some of the meals, just in case anybody was curious on taste and stuff. And I did take some photos so you guys could kind of get a better glimpse of some of the food items and what they look like, and I would share my thoughts on them. I didn't take photos of every single item because I just didn't think that was necessary, but on the things that I had a little bit of a mental note of something that I would have liked to say about it, or maybe it was one that I thought was really good, I figured I'd take a picture so I could remember to share. So the first night I was really excited. I think I mentioned in the first portion of this video that I had seen that there was a chicken pot pie, and I was so excited for that because I love chicken pot pie. So I ended up having that the first night because I was really excited to have it, and I will say it was a little bit disappointing. I mean, it was still actually really good, so like taste wise it was good, but it was a little bit disappointing as far as like presentation. So I'm looking at my phone to look at the photo, but I'll put the photo on the screen for you guys to see. So it was kind of more of a like the insides of a pot pie, and then I don't even know, it almost was like a pastry type kind of crust that you could put on top of the insides of the pot pie stuff. So I took the picture just to show you guys because it's not quite a full-on pot pie, and I kind of get it because otherwise it would probably be too carby or whatever. But I will say that for me, I was like, oh, that's not quite a pot pie, but you know, it is what it is. So I wanted to make note of that. I thought it was funny, but it was pretty good. The second photo I took was, I believe this was a lunch item, and it was like the white cheddar macaroni. I didn't take a picture of the name, so I can't remember, but I know it was macaroni. It was really, really thick. It was a good portion size, I thought, and it tasted really, really good. And I'm someone who absolutely loves cheese, so I was very, very happy and satisfied with that lunch that day. The next one I had to show you, oh, okay, this is one where I kind of made a modification. This was the meatballs dinner, and on the back of it, it said that you could eat it with like a small, I think like a whole wheat roll or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it kind of said like you could add in that if you wanted to, I guess. So I kind of just took the liberty to kind of do something similar. So I actually ended up eating this with one of my Olay tortillas. I've talked about these tortillas before that I have every once in a while. They're like high fiber, low carb tortillas that I'll sometimes have when I feel like having some kind of carb, you know what I mean? Instead of a regular tortilla or instead of bread. So that's what I did. I put the meatballs on the tortilla and then just added like a little bit of cheese just for a little added flavoring. So that was something I kind of added in just a little bit to this, and that's what I had for my dinner on the 4th night. Okay, and it was good. So then the next picture I have to show is the white bean chicken chili. I think this was probably my very, very favorite meal in the entire box. It tasted really, really, really good, and it had a nice spice to it. I'm someone who absolutely loves anything spicy. The spicier the better. So this was like absolutely delicious. It was so good that I was like, I want more of this. I want to keep eating this. It is so, so good. And I wish I had more of it because, ooh, it's so good. So if you're someone who likes a little bit of a spicy meal, the white bean chicken chili, delicious and has a good spice to it. So I was like really, really, really happy with that. And the last one I had, I think like a beef stew type thing. I can't remember what the name of it. Why did I not take pictures of the names of the meals? But anyways, you can see by the picture what it is. This one I thought was interesting because, to be honest, like, and it tasted good, don't get me wrong, but when I looked at it, it kind of reminded me of like cat food or dog food, like wet cat food or wet dog food or something. And I'm like, it doesn't look the most appetizing, but it actually was really good. And I took this picture specifically so you guys can see the little bits of other things that was in it. So it was like beef and little bits of potatoes, as well as carrots and peas. And I actually am someone who really loves peas. I know that's like a weird vegetable that most people don't like, but I love peas. So I enjoyed this dinner option. I thought it was good, but just not the most appetizing to look at. So that's pretty much it that I took of the food and the things that I wanted to know about like the food quality and what I thought. As far as like the breakfasts and stuff and the lunches, the breakfast, I think I showed you most of the breakfast options in the first portion of this video, and so most of them were very just sweet options, either bars, or there was like a muffin, there was oatmeal, and then there was a granola cereal. So no real complaints or any like major thoughts about those. They were, everything I felt like was pretty good. There was nothing in this kit of anything that I didn't actually like, you know what I mean? So everything tasted good, and so good thoughts on that. I actually want to go over the 5 days and let you know some of the things that I did add in to this. Now, as I mentioned, the 5-day system for the first week, you're supposed to do it with the turbo shakes, which I did not do. So I just want to let you know what I did within the system. I really wanted to try to keep with just using the stuff within the system, and then also add in the 4 servings of vegetables as well as the water, which is what it says for the first week, so you could lose the most amount of weight. And I did for the first 2 days, but then the last 3 days I did add in a few extra things just because I felt like I wanted something extra. And like I said, I am working out and things like that, weightlifting and stuff like that, so I felt like it seemed for me it would be fine for me to add those in. So let me just let you guys know what I did. For day 1 and day 2, I basically followed the way they have this plan, with just using the Nutrisystem products, and then the 4 servings of vegetables like it says, and then of course the 64 ounces of water, which I probably drink a little bit more than that even. Day 3 was when I did something, added something in extra, which I think it says in here that I could have tea, but anyways, I did have tea. And technically I guess you could say I had 2 cups of tea because I had a pretty big cup of it, and put 2 tea bags in there, and then I also added a teaspoon of honey to that large 2 cups of tea or whatever. So that was something extra that I added on the 3rd day. And the 3rd day was also the day that I weighed myself again, and on the 3rd day I had dropped a pound. So as you guys know, I started at 183 pounds, then on day 3 I weighed 182 pounds. Now day 4, again, I kind of followed this system, but as I mentioned when I talked about my thoughts on the food, for dinner was when I had the meatballs, and that's when I did add in that tortilla and then added in a little bit of cheese as well. I wrote down here that I had protein crisps, and I actually left the bag in here. So I think it was just like I decided to have those after we got home from the gym, because I was just really hungry that day. I think it was like leg day, and it was a pretty intense workout for my husband and I decided I was going to have an extra snack for myself, something not within this program, but something that was still kind of a healthier option, which these Shrewd Food protein crisps are. So basically this is 14 grams of protein, 90 calories, 3 grams of fat, 2 carbohydrates, and 1 gram of sugar. And I had the brick oven pizza one. So, and then in addition to that, that was when I did my dinner with the tortilla and stuff like that. So this was a day where I kind of went quite a bit over I guess what I was supposed to have. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay, and then the last day, I pretty much followed everything exactly, with the addition of that I did have a bag of almonds, that I remembered I wrote down that they were 200 calories for the little bag that I had, which is kind of crazy. That's a lot of calories for that small little bag that I had. But this was on a Saturday, and we were out for several hours because my son plays football. So when he has a game, he usually has to be there 2 hours earlier, but we ended up going I think like 4 hours earlier because my husband wanted to watch the game before his. So we were there pretty much for several hours out in the heat, and I was a little bit hungry, and my husband brought me back those almonds for a snack. So that was an extra thing that I did have on day 5. So I just want to let you guys know some of the extra things that I did add in food-wise that weren't part of this program that could have possibly hindered or done anything for me. Just so you guys know, I didn't completely stick to this. So it's possible that I could have done a little bit better if I was a lot more strict to just this, and I don't know if it really messes up my experiment in testing this out, but either way, it is what it is. I feel like I don't think it should mess it up too much, just because I want to say that I feel like people who might do this may not be as active, or maybe they are, I don't know, but this does say, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, that for this first week not to be super active, and I still was very active. So I feel like I don't think it would have hindered me at all, but I don't know. I just want to let you guys know all the facts of everything I was eating, as well as everything I was doing and things like that. So with that being said, my final weight on day 5 was 181 pounds. So in that last 5 days, I did lose 2 pounds. And like I said, I kind of just guesstimated that maybe I could possibly lose 3 pounds. I know that that's not exactly how the system works. I kind of just broke it down into funky math to see if possibly that could be what I would lose or potentially could lose. And I just want to see what would happen. So with that, I guess I will share kind of my pros and cons to the system and my thoughts after trying this 5-day system. So I think I'm going to start with the cons. Let's get the negative out of the way and we'll end it on a positive note. So the cons of this is that I do feel like it's really expensive. I'm pretty sure I mentioned the price in the beginning of this video. It's for this 5-day box, it's $45, and that may or may not seem expensive to some of you guys. I mean, I don't think it's an unfair price, but it is a little bit expensive. It's not completely outrageous. Say if you were single or only needed to provide food for yourself, I think that actually might be kind of smart, but considering that I am a mom of 3 kids, and I'm not the only one eating, and this is specifically would be so much money for just me alone to eat, that's kind of pretty expensive. Hey guys, I just want to pop in real quick and add in, I don't feel like I articulated what I was trying to get across very well here, but basically what I was saying is that this can kind of be expensive if you are purchasing it for a single person within a family like I am, because I still have to purchase the same amount of groceries essentially that I would for my family to keep preparing their meals and things like that. And so this is an extra added expense onto our food bill that I normally wouldn't have to purchase. And it can be affordable if you are a single person, because it is essentially everything you need for your entire meals for the week, and you're not buying the extra ingredients and things like that. It's already prepared. but you do have to remember that you still have to buy the, you know, extra fresh vegetables and things like that. So there is more of an expense to it than just the $45, which makes it add up. And like I said, could be reasonable for a single person, but if it's an added expense on top of a family food budget, that's where it can kind of get a little bit expensive. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense in how I was trying to explain it. And then the other downside, or con, I guess if you will, and it's not even really a con, it's just something that I kind of, it's a personal preference thing. It could be good for some people, but for me it kind of was like, this is the one thing I feel like I don't really love about it, you know, and that was that I did notice that there were, it seemed to me at least, there was a lot more sweet options than like salty or savory, at least concerning snacks. And I, being someone who is much more of a salty, like I love salty snacks, I love crunchy snacks, that's my thing more than having a sweet tooth. I kind of missed that, and I think that was also part of why I was like, when I wanted a snack, I grabbed these because it has that like salty, yummy flavor, a savory flavor, and a crunch, and so that was something I kind of missed on this. Now, like I said, this could be a good thing for some, because I feel like one of the biggest things with like diet stereotypes is that you don't get to have sweets anymore. So I think that could be a really good thing for some people who miss sweets and want to be able to have sweets and muffins and chocolate and things like that. I think it's really cool. But for me personally, I was like, oh, it would have been nice to have a little bit more of a balance between sweet and salty, because I miss salty stuff. All right, and so really those are the only two like cons or downsides that I found with this system, and one of them really isn't that much of a con. It's more just a personal preference. I think the price is really the biggest thing that is like, can be, that would probably be tough for a lot of people. But let's talk about some of the good things. So the good things was, like I already mentioned, is that the food was really good. There wasn't anything in this box that I tried and I was like, oh, this doesn't taste good, like I don't like this. It was all really good. The portions are very, very small, but of course it is like a weight loss program. You're trying to lose weight, so that is something to get used to. I think for that would be something that I think people may have a tough time getting used to. I feel like it wasn't super tough for me because I've already been on the progress of eating much so smaller portions and things like that. So I feel like my stomach was pretty used to it, and I felt relatively full and satisfied after eating these meals. So I feel like that was good. And because they tasted good, it wasn't like I regretted eating this, especially if my family was eating something else. So that's a really good thing. The other good thing about it is I felt like it was really, really convenient. If you were someone who is busy all the time, and you are looking to lose weight, but you maybe don't have time to meal prep, or you don't know how to meal prep, or just whatever the case may be, having these prepared meals is really kind of cool and convenient. It was nice to be able to just get up, open one of those things up, and either eat it right away or just microwave it real quick. So I really love that. I'm someone who hates cooking, to be honest. I mean, I do still cook dinner and stuff for my family. It's something you just get used to, being a mom, being a parent, that you cook, but I don't love cooking. So for me, it felt really nice to be able to have these for me, really quick and easy and convenient, especially after making something separate from my family, because before I'd make something separate from my family and then still have to prepare something separate for me, unless it was something that I prepared ahead of time. So it was really nice and convenient and quick and easy, and I did really enjoy that. And I feel like that's a really great factor that a lot of people would really love and enjoy as well. Okay, that actually reminded me of something else I want to say that I don't know if this is necessarily a con or not, but it kind of goes along with it being very, very convenient. Everything's already finished and like prepackaged and done. That was something that I feel like I don't think I would like to do this super, super long term. So right now I'm actually considering buying another box because like I said, I did love the convenience. I did love the taste of the food. I do feel like it helped me be a little bit more successful in my weight loss. I mean, yes, I'm already working out and I'm lifting weights and stuff like that, and my weight loss could have been very well from that, but I feel like this definitely was a help in aiding me with my weight loss journey and things like that. I love the convenience of it. I love that the portions already like done right for me, so there's no guesswork. I loved that. But what I didn't really love about it is like, I just don't love the idea of always having something prepackaged. I didn't like the idea that every meal I ate for this last week pretty much was a prepackaged meal. I definitely missed having like fresh chicken or, you know, fresh meat and things like that. Now I still was eating fresh vegetables and stuff like that, but I kind of just missed having like a freshly prepared meal kind of thing that was like healthy and good for me to eat, and not just something that was already pre-made and pre-packaged. So I don't know if that's necessarily a pro or a con and how other people might feel about it, but I just know for me personally, I definitely missed having a fresh meal. So actually, was it Sunday night, because Saturday was my last day on this system. Sunday night, my husband grilled up some chicken, and I was just in heaven having my grilled chicken breast, and that was freshly done and freshly cooked with some fresh vegetables and things like that. So that I guess could be a con for some people too. If you don't want to only be eating prepackaged meals, like that's kind of a tough one. But like I said, what I'm considering is, because I did enjoy this and I did find it very helpful, I'm actually considering purchasing another 5-day box. But what I think I want to do is just have it as an option. I'm not going to make it as like, this is my meal for the next 5 days only. I just want to have it as an option. So if it's a day that I'm super busy, and like I said, I'm a mom of 3, we have 2 kids in sports, we're constantly busy, we are working out, we're doing all kinds of stuff, and so if it's a day where I just feel like I don't have the time, or I'm just too tired, or whatever the case may be, to have that as a fallback of something like I already have a lunch or a dinner prepared, or a breakfast that I can just grab really quick. Or like Sunday mornings, because we go to church in the mornings, we are on the worship team, and so we always have to be there extra early, and oftentimes, to be honest, I skip breakfast on Sunday mornings because we were rushing out the door and things like that, with not much time, and so I end up skipping breakfast. So it would be nice to have an option to have a quick breakfast just to grab on the go, that I know is not like a junky breakfast or unhealthy, that it's still going to be a good portion for me and things like that, and just have that as an option to throw in between having some freshly prepared meals for myself. So yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about this. I really enjoyed the system enough to want to purchase it again, but not like stick on it strictly, but to use it as a little bit of a helpful tool in, you know, having some food success or healthy eating options and things like that. I think it's a really cool tool. So I don't know if that's helpful to anybody, because I know I didn't do this the exact traditional correct way, but hopefully someone found this interesting and helpful, and if you were curious about Nutrisystem and things like that. Now again, I just want to reiterate, this is not sponsored. Nutrisystem knows nothing about me or anything. I just thought it might be interesting to share my results after trying it, and I don't know, hopefully you guys find it helpful and interesting. So anyways, with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions about this, anything that I may have left out, which I'm trying to think, like I just ramble on so much and there's just so much that I feel like I want to say, and I think I said everything I need to say, but on the off chance that I maybe forgot anything or just didn't think to include something, if you guys have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Leave it in a comment. I'll be sure to get back to you. Just so I can be the most helpful I can be for you guys, if that's possible. So again, just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!